Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Azuris broadcast. I'm so excited to be here for some Day 2 EU Rocket League. It's myself, SirPigasus, joined by my wonderful brother from another mother across the 7 seas. It's Quanzek.
Man, it's been a second since we've been in the booth with each other, the lull with the Birmingham Major, some convoluted feedback on what we're getting with regard to what team streams are going to be happening, where that's going to be, but I am so excited to be back in the booth with you here, Pig, and we're covering a rather talented team that can make some waves here in the first EU Open of the second split on the quest for the Rally Major.
Of course, I mean, they qualify through the upper brackets. It was a reverse sweep to end the day yesterday in a best of 5 as well. So it does, in fact, count where these players were able to qualify themselves into Day 2. So, of course, Daiki, Sicarino, and Darkrai taking on the competition here to try and get themselves for a record-breaking top 32, I believe, for these 3 players. Luckily, though, they've got a coach with some experience behind them. It's the legendary Nordic Verdane, of course, was the top 16 coach for La Masia last season and former coach of Mr. Worldwide /86 last season. I mean, I just happened to follow him into the next split here in EU Quan. It's not like he offered me. It's not like that's what happened. It's just for some reasons, our paths constantly cross. And well, that's for good reason, because he is, in my opinion, the best coach that, for some reason, is consistently outside of these top 16 rosters.
We know you're stalking him. You can admit it. You are tracking down Nordic. You are paying attention to every single roster move that he makes. You have hacked his Discord and are a step ahead of him before he even knows it. Nordic, change your passwords, my friend. Watch out. Pegasus is coming.
Oh, indeed.
No, very quality
2FA,
coach.
3FA,
And
4FA. They're going to need more than that.
Yeah. Have the text sent to your mom and have your mom send you the code just so that Pegasus cannot get into your account. Nordic, very quality coach. And he's here for a reason, right? He backs these 3 players in unison, and they showed their gusto yesterday with a reverse sweep to qual into the upper side of the Day 2 bracket, so setting themselves up for the best possible run that they can. With that being said, the draw for round number 1 is Vitality, which is...
16 experience that has played against Team Vitality before. I mean, this is the moment where it's going to be needed most, and especially the support from home as well. Thank you to all of those that have tuned in to the first ever Azuris broadcast here, especially the wonderful, wonderful family of Darkrai that I've heard are going to be tuning into this broadcast and are watching at the moment. If that is the case, welcome to the stream. I hope you enjoy our commentary over your wonderful players who we hope can go the full distance. But Vitality, they are written down as Seed 2 of Europe, and we know that they aim for a little bit higher than that. How insane is that to say, Quanzek?
You have to beat the best in order to become the best, and hey, you have gotten that matchup here early. Vitality, I think, also probably playing with a little bit of a chip on their shoulder. Not that they did poorly at the last major, but I don't think the finish that they resulted in, being lacking the grand finals, would have been exactly what they were looking for. And here they want something to prove. They want to book their tickets over to Raleigh and have a good time there. So lots to play for, lots to prove. And honestly, I mean, I know these guys are hungry. They're going to be gunning to take down Vitality. It is a step on the way. They're sick of eating scraps. They're going to eat the chips off of their shoulder. But it's gonna be a matchup. That I'll just leave it at that. It will be a tough task.
I mean, as soon as that reverse sweep was confirmed yesterday, you could hear that buzzing in your ears, the buzzing
Yeah.
of the bees, of Team Vitality. They were looming on that bracket for the next day, and well, the players, I'm sure, have looked back to see what happened to Vitality in day one, because I mean, you see Vitality in day one, you see them as second seed, they're second best team in EU, I mean, easily, in my opinion. I think there's a little bit of a gap between themselves and the rest of the competition. I mean, full respect,
There's a tier break
of course,
out there,
to
for sure.
Dignitas and to GK, but come on, we can all admit that it is Carmine Core at the very top. There's a gap, there's Vitality, then there's an even bigger gap, in my opinion, to those third and fourth teams. But they didn't look so invincible yesterday, because Quan, they dropped a game in that winners semi-final versus Team Divergence. That was a team that has Nova Gifted, Emilio, and Toon on that team. I've heard of Nova before, at the very least, and all respect to those players for taking a game off Vitality. But also, Vitality, what on earth are you doing?
Complacency is certainly a factor that I would probably attribute that one to. Oh, it's day one. Oh, we don't really have to play. I mean, there's a reason we don't tend to cast day one's Pig, is because more often than not, it devolves into a podcast between you and I. We're talking about random nonsense that isn't the game, because the current scoreline is 9-0 of what we're watching, because it's these quality teams having to come through and stomp on some, a group of 3 buddies who just got done with school or back from the pub, and they're like diamond or champs, and they're let's have some fun in RLCS. Like, it's a good time for everybody to have an experience, and maybe will run into some players like that. But at the end of the day, who will actually make it further? That is almost always set in the sand, and day 2 is when you get the banger matchups like we'll have on deck for our first series.
Yeah, really excited for this first one. It's a nice opportunity here for Azuris to just get a stamp in. I mean, I don't know if Vitality are going to be streaming today. I know that sometimes with these teams that are essentially guaranteed top 8 every single call, I mean top 4 if we're being completely honest with Vitality, some of them don't do these earlier broadcasts, but if they are, that's a lot of eyes on Azuris. Either way, I'm sure people that are going to be looking for a bit of early Team Vitality action in Split 2 will be heading over to this broadcast to have a cheeky peek. And maybe, that will be the opportunity for Azuris to say, look, you came here for Team Vitality, but you're staying for Azuris, and seeing how well they fought against a top roster, not just in EU, Quanzek, but in the whole world.
Yeah, no, this is really, you said make their mark. This is the stamp that Azuris can put on the scene. I mean, a newly developed team, they've been grinding, they've been doing their thing. When you get your first draw in a major game against Vitality, if you can show out, eyes will be on you for the entirety of the split. Not just this weekend, but like, you'll have attention garnered for opens 5 and 6, and people will try to make you make your bid to be like an upset Cinderella run in some of these events. And I think this roster can do it. It just starts here against Vitality.
And I have looked over to my monitor. Unfortunately, on Start GG, both teams have checked in. We couldn't have like a ninjas in pajamas situation go into our favor here in the upper bracket. We are, in fact, going to be facing Team Vitality. I know that all players are in the lobby, and any minute now we will be watching some of the goats of the great game take on Monkey Moon, Exotic, and Zen. I'm so excited for this matchup. We see the transitions going over. Quanzak, it is almost time.
Oh man, my friend, I'm so excited, not just to get back into casting Rocket League, but to have this game underway. It'll be a fun one. I'm excited for Azuris as a collective against the likes of Vitality. It'll be a banger of a first matchup, and Hopefully they don't come out with too much nerves, because I'd probably be buzzing just as much as they are. Here we are, the opening to Open Qual number 4, Azuris versus Vitality, and of course it's Vitality knocking on the door first.
Best of 5s here in day 2 and forward, so we can expect some regular Rocket League going on immediately. You can see Vitality trying to initiate some pressure. Double demos come out. Those are 2 different players. And, well, this is close to what we were expecting here. Team Vitality quickly coming out the gates, recovering from a single game loss in that first day. 2 stars above the badge as well, just to show you the pedigree that this organization has in their history. But Azuris still going to look to pounce back here, quick off that kickoff. And, well, I feel like you've just got to take this bit by bit, haven't you, Quanzet? You've just got to focus on getting those first shots across, getting that first goal, and anything that happens afterwards will just be a byproduct, because this Team Vitality side, they are not going to let go of the gas. They're going to feel like such a hard team to keep up with the pace with. So you're just going to have to take it step by step.
100%. It's climbing a mountain. Every single little chunk that you can pull off and get your hands on, that's exactly what you're going to have to do. Racing around here is Azuris. They've at least stabilized since that opening 20-second blur. And they're now looking to get things going. That's a screaming pinch that would have headed back towards net had Daiki not been there to turn it aside. And Azuris now looking for opportunities of their own, registering their first shot and forcing an epic save out of the defensive mastermind of Monkey Moon.
And it was one early concession, but from there on out, Azuris have done well to hold on to that defense. It was Daiki, like you said before, almost getting himself that first goal, but here comes Zen, set up here by Monkey Moon. Well, it feels so easy to call Monkey Moon the past and Zen the present and the future. But just a recent world champion looking to collect his third here with this wonderful team he's got alongside him, get their second goal against Azuris. But I think we're not going to go down without a fight. We saw how they were able to pick up the pace after that first goal. Let's hope that everyone that comes back of him just ignites another flame here under the Azuris bellies.
Yeah, no, I'm sure. I mean, you can tell that Azuris is starting to get hungry, and as a result, they're sending the house to try to get possession of this ball, and that's what's coming back to bite them on this goal specifically. Zen just uncontested into the blue half, and you never want to see that with Zen looking at an open net, and he's able to get a centering pass perfectly. Azuris now in the hole for 3, but still fighting, pulling out the kickoff stretch, trying to connect here is Daiki over to Sicarino, and Darkrai may be able to get there, not quite. Azuris showing they still have some perseverance, but conceding goals all the same.
And here's Zen. You see Monkey Moon doing so well to get that follow-up pass interconnected between the two of them to get that shot across. And it's going to, again, just going to be all eyes on Azuris to just try and get something out of this game. 4-0 is a very large scoreline to come back from, especially when you're facing the defenses of Team Vitality. But when you can break the seal, sometimes great things can follow. It's a wonderful kickoff here from Sicarino, and Darkrai getting that one straight out of the playbook and onto the pitch here to score the first goal of the day against the multi-time champions.
It's a start. That's how everything's gonna have to begin. 1 goal on the quest. In this game particularly to 4, but really just to get yourself some sort of concession into the rest of this series. There's more games to be played outside of this one, as that's an absolutely fabulous shot by Zen. He deserves his flowers there. When doesn't he? Pass over to himself, and he gets that edge of his car between both of his tires to still get power and play that one far post. And that's Azuris. I'm sure in the call right now are just saying, yep, that's Zen. That's what we gotta expect, because that's just the norm with that dude.
And we've got to remember, these kinds of matchups are only really available in the first open of a given split, because once you make top 8, you do automatically qualify yourself for that Swiss stage. But it's the nature of this open format. You get to have that experience and score a goal against some titans of the game. But of course, we've got a player here looking to enter that pedigree. It is Daiki with the second goal for Azuris. And again, just another block built up here for a second game where when the scoreline's reset of a timer as well, who knows what magic Azuris can cause.
I like the gritty goals that Azuris has been finding. I mean, finding a well-orchestrated team passing play against the likes of Vitality is gonna be a nigh impossible task, but being able to be grimy, faster, work harder for these tap-in goals, that's exactly what Azuris are doing right now, and that's what you need to do against some of the world's best. Number 2 in Europe and top 4 in the world. Darkrai controlling here in the corner, trying to play it past Exotic. He's done well there. Actually got it past Monkey Moon as well. Can he win the race down? He got a piece of it. But Monkey Moon steers that back in the corner. Daiki, though! A blistering shot, and Azuris down to only a 2-goal deficit.
This is such a well-worked play here. You see Sicarino there in the corner, notices that all 3 Team Vitality players are bunched up in that corner, so just knock it off it. Get it into some open space. Find a teammate for that open shot. You've got to make every opportunity as easy as possible. Get that ball away from these Team Vitality players, because the stats that Vitality are always very high on is actually, or it's quite low on, I should say, really, is that space between players. They like to stay close. They like to just quickly lay off those passes between each other and just keep the man with the most boost on the ball at any given time. But that can be exploited, and we saw it for that third goal. Too close for comfort there. Azuris able to find that third, and now in this final minute, we're seeing a very different, more aggressive blue side here, where Team Vitality, dare I say, have been on the back foot.
They've done very well to control the midfield boost, Azuris has, and that's what has led Vitality to have to be reactive as opposed to proactive. They don't have the boost totals to jump for everything. With that being said, their backboard defense has still been fantastic, and I don't know if that was calculated, but Exotic got bumped all the way down to the other corner. That one played on out by Sicarino. Can Azuris get one to open the door for a potential ulti in game 1? That's a demo by Sicarino. He's hunting down Monkey Moon. Couldn't get a piece of him, and that means that that one will be cleared out, and Zen just gonna buy time. Then that one screaming across the entire length of the pitch, and Azuris' window to come back might be closing here rather soon if they don't score now. Daiki looking for Darkrai. He's pushed off, and with that clearance, Azuris' fight was strong, but they won't make it all the way back here in this game number 1, Pigasus.
Well, it was an early concession in that middle stage of the game where Team Vitality completely dominated and gave themselves that head start, which was just a bit too much there for Azuris to catch. But I feel like the positives to take out of that game, contact, were, first of all, that Azuris chased. They didn't give up. They kept it going until the clock hit 0 seconds, got those 3 goals back, and they've set themselves up quite nicely for this second game where they've got themselves warmed up. They didn't, go into that give up mentality, we go next. No, they picked up those pieces first so that they could head into that second game, already just having that baton passed on to them. They're going to be going out sprinting past that next kickoff, and there's opportunities there to catch the champions off guard.
100%. And, I think Vitality kind of were like, oh, this is a team. Once they hit a certain point, they went up 3-0, and all of a sudden, Azuris rallied back, found a few, and Vitality really had to try defensively to find the clears, to be well poised on their rotations, and that just shows you the thirst that Azuris has, how they can make these plays happen from seemingly nowhere. It's gonna have to happen against a team like Vitality, and, maybe that means this game 2 will be tougher, because Vitality has to hit that second gear, but the fact that Azuris was in striking distance, period, against a team that is the 2 team in Europe, goes to show you that there is something here that hasn't been tapped into yet.
And Azuris trying that kickoff strategy, but Zen looking to hit his signature. And well, when you see him setting that off the ceiling, you just remember those pictures of the World's Grand Final, CJ behind. And oh my goodness, he can do it every single day of the week. That's Vitality stamping themselves together early in this second game, just as Azuris were looking to pick up that momentum. And I like to see that little bit of, showmanship shown as well in the chats, where Azuris did say GG's. Nice shot for that first one. So they're not tilted off the back of it. Just happy to continue and strike right back. And that's immediately what we're seeing in this play. Daiki hits it high. Exotic forced to make a just shy of the crossbar save. That's a lovely tap there from Sicarino to try and keep this one central. And Team Vitality have been left scrabbling. Great pace behind all three of the Azuris players. Rotation on fleek, but Vitality do well to recover.
My co-caster just said on fleek in 2025, guys.
Okay, come on. Sorry, they were slaying. They were slaying an offense. Is that what you want here? Is that what you want on the broadcast? Exotic with a flip reset. And you know what? He slayed. He served. There you go. Exotic with the second goal for Vitality. We're coming in with all the new lingo. What do you want from me, Quanzek?
You're on fleek, man. Good job. You know I'm just giving you a hard time, man. You can say whatever you want. I just heard it, and my eyes kind of opened. I was like, whoa, that's a word I haven't heard in a few years now. As Vitality really feeling themselves. They're going to put in a third. Azuris had that one window where the rotation was good. They turned it into 2 or 3 quality chances, but have fumbled since then on a couple of kickoff setups. And that's meant Vitality has gotten their, at this point, standard 3-0 lead, and it's going to be up to Azuris to rally their way back in a similar fashion to what they did in Game 1. They already know they can do it, but Vitality, I will admit, is playing at another level currently, and they look very difficult to slow down.
Absolutely, and just look at them, so patient as well. They don't challenge every immediate play, but when they smell blood in the water, they pounce a second before the play looks like it's even formed. They've got such a great reading of it. However, those team bumps in the corner immediately nullifying everything I said. Zen going for a shot here. Darkrai does well to pick this play up. Flip reset behind it. Not enough power here to beat the 2-time world champion, but Zen is up. You see that pre-jump coming in from Exotic. The combination's there. Just need Monkey Moon to finish the job, but Darkrai makes that job a little bit more difficult with that tip away into the corner. 3 minutes left on the clock. Vitality still on that high lead, but Azuris kicking and screaming till the very end.
They're throwing the tantrum here, Pig. They're trying to get what they want, and that's a Game 2 win. Monkey Moon gets the flip reset, actually fakes it, pulls himself away from it after using the flip. That one sent across, and Sicarino going to play it to his teammate in Daiki. That one dumped from one end of the pitch over to the other. And now carried along by Sicarino. Can he get this one on? It's generating a shot, but not really a quality chance. And Azuris still looking to fight back. Here's the positive. Vitality scored with so much time on the clock that there's plenty of time to rally a comeback. There's still more than 2 minutes despite the 3-0 deficit.
It's that classic double-edged sword. Yeah, they get a head start, but you've got plenty of time to just try and shut that gap a little bit, and they were able to shut it to 2 in the last game. It was a much harder task with the 5 goals, of course, in Vitality's favor. Sicarino, it's a fake for the initial play, but Monkey Moon doesn't fall for that one, just sits back, waits for that heavy touch to follow him, and now it's all their attack. Zen snipes out that demo. Exotic can't get the read, and Sicarino just wants to pop it high, but Monkey Moon is there. 0 boost, 0 problems off the backboard, and no teammate is there to wait. It was too low boost of a Zen there, and Exotic, which was positioned wide, which now allows Azuris to have a bit of real estate.
Yeah, they both got a little bit greedy going for the full boost. Monkey Moon had no help, and you're 100% right. Azuris now able to set up their tent and immediately lose it coming back the other way as both Exotic and Monkey Moon trying to find that double tap or take the goal away from the other. Whatever the result was, it didn't go in, and now Zen toying with it, and that's something of a marvel there. Off the sidewall, gets the flip reset, uses his flip at the last moment. Gets that musty into the top left corner. Vitality 4-0 now, and the Azuris have had a couple looks, but nothing that's broken the strong Vitality defense this time around. Okay, well, go ahead, Big. I'm sorry for speaking.
It's those kickoffs again. That's what opened up the gates in the game one. It was, I believe, a play between Sicarino and Darkrai that were able to get themselves that first goal. And it seems like that was a pattern to follow. And they did try a similar strategy, actually, for the initial kickoff of the game. They went for the classic, well, one of these, where you get the cheating player to actually take the touch. The first man fakes and just charges themselves forward. And it can catch out even the very best of rosters. It's increasingly getting popular, but nothing too fancy coming out of his second goal. Either way, Azuris happy to take it.
I don't know where Vitality went, to be honest. I thought somebody would be there in time, but that was touched on the sidewall in Azuris' half, and there was not an orange car in sight. And so the door is open. Don't call it a comeback yet. There's still 2 goals that are necessary here. But Azuris has been given life, or taken life, whichever angle you want to look at it, to be back in this game number 2. Darkrai trying to challenge Zen here. Zen actually feigning that just to force Darkrai down. Exotic collecting off the back wall, off the ceiling, going to drop it down to Zen. He's looking for Monkey Moon. It ends up behind him. So Monkey Moon trying to play possession, but they have fumbled that one. And Azuris now has 19 seconds to find one more.
And the kickoffs have been where Azuris have been most dangerous. So hold on a minute. This game might not be over yet. Can they force an overtime? Can they get it done quicker? Let's focus on step 1 first. The kickoff comes. It is left there for Zen. The fake kickoff in full fruition. Exotic has the miss. The bump is attempted on Monkey Moon. Darkrai on the follow. And with 11 seconds left remaining, Azuris keep Team Vitality guessing.
The kickoff strat panned out. They didn't even go for it. They backflipped on the back right side, collected that full boost, and then set up a play when Zen passed it to them off the kickoff. Now 11 seconds. Can you get one more? It's a clean win from Darkrai. It looks like a ones kickoff as Zen has to play it over the top of Sicarino. That's a demo on Daiki on the back end. Monkey Moon can't get there, and Darkrai happy to spike it. They've invited Vitality into overtime in game 2. Can they rather steal, might be the right word to say it, a game victory here in this second game of the series and equalize things? Monkey Moon over the top, that one water falling down, and the hopes are gonna end all in one call from me before I can throw it over to you, Pig. And one fail swoop off this kickoff. Vitality able to bite back and give Azuris a taste of their own medicine with a kickoff goal in OT.
Well, we forced the absolute most out of him, especially in that overtime. It was a lovely sidewall pass there from Zen, dropped down from Monkey Moon, back to that past teammate to get the job done. And, well, an overtime against Team Vitality. Who would have thought? Not me. Certainly not me. I thought we'd get the job done quicker. I mean, Azuris, we have to lock in here. We can take a game away from these players. We've proven it now in that second. There were like glimmers of it in that first, and I mean, how amazing would that be, Quan, if the first ever game win for Azuris witnessed on their broadcast was against Team Vitality. We almost got it there in that last game, but it's all about that opening goal. Why do we always concede after first kickoff?
I don't know. I don't know why we concede 3 either to start a game. I know Vitality is a quality roster, but we're 2 for 2 now on going down the 3 goals before we even really get into the game. And despite both of those, the goal differential throughout these 2 games is only 3. Game 1 probably should have been closer than it was, and that one ended in OT. So follow this progression, we win in OT, and then we win by 2 goals in game 4, and we win game 5 handedly. We take Vitality to a trip to Brazil if this pattern continues, which it won't, but a man can dream, right? Azuris is on the verge of a game win victory as all 3 members for Vitality go for the kickoff there, a little bit of bot style, and Azuris almost punishing them for that haphazard approach, I would say. That was interesting.
It really was a 3-man squish, a bot kickoff, like you said, to get things started. At least Azuris did not concede immediately of it. I mean, that is going to be a kickoff which goes completely into our favor. Vitality, though, looking to regain possession. That would have been something special there from Exotic had they have got it on target. But Vitality love to work those corners to try and get the ball back inside, but at the same time, always happy to have one player sitting a little bit deeper for those heavy touch. That's a big bump coming out. It's disrespectful, but it's what needs to be done if you want to take down Vitality. Is that goal number 8 for them coming from Daiki from the top row to knock out one of the greats of the game? My goodness.
RKO out of nowhere there, man. Swinging down, taking out the final defender, and unlocking Azuris' first opening goal and first opening lead in this series. Sicarino hoping to extend it, double dip, and make it 2. Daiki gonna tow the torch for him. Darkrai into the corner, has enough boost to turn this into a shot opportunity on frame. No, it's a little bit high. And Monkey Moon was there for the backboard defense regardless. Has this come all the way over to Daiki. He's going to find a challenge onto Monkey Moon. And Zen's going to ward off any incoming threats as Vitality looks to regroup and enter into Azuris' half. That's a really fabulous pass by Zen. Exotic wins the low 50, then unintentionally hits it high to Monkey Moon. Uses all of the boost to get there. They've drained the boost totals of Azuris and slotted in by way of Zen.
And this is how you control the game. It's not just about that possession. It's that boost economy as well. And you can see on the size of your screen there, Vitality completely dominating in that regard. Waited for Azuris to have all of theirs burnt down. And admittedly, a slight double commit as well to follow. And if you're going to give Vitality that much of an advantage, they're going to take it every single time. But still, the opening goal was in the Azuris' favor. Team Vitality are still the team technically fighting for a comeback in Game 3.
I mean...
Oh!
Okay, well, they definitely will be now with that double demo coming out by Sicarino. He's a fifth of the way towards the extermination medal, and he might as well get it with that play. Or did Sicarino get both? Did Darkrai get one driving through? Regardless, they forcibly remove Vitality from the pitch and get a tap-in goal, and Azuris is once again in control of this game.
I can confirm it was Sicarino with the double demo there. Darkrai, though, positioned perfectly to get that job done, but Daiki shut down here by Exotic. It's losing that 100 boost. That is really going to build up into this play because Exotic, with time and space, will set things up here for Monkey Moon. Team Vitality continue to chase. It's not going to be that easy here for Azuris. Plenty of time left here on the clock. Do not crumble. Keep that gritty play going. Get a bit physical with Team Vitality and play them outside of those typical strategies they're used to. Darkrai sends this one off the corner, and I love that confidence from Darky to go up early here. But it's Sicarino having to rotate back here again for Exotic, and his setup plays are just so consistent. And well, when you have Zen as an option in the box, it's almost a guaranteed assist.
Zen popped up into the camera frame, and I didn't know from where. He just sort of like coalesced out of thin air to be there for that play. Exotic jumped down off the sidewall, and he wasn't anywhere there. It's like he was just parked in front of the net waiting for it. And that might have been what actually happened, or I just missed the angle. As what a pass there from Zen on a rope down to Monkey Moon. And Azuris' barter, their wage, their bid for the lead here in this game number 3. Vitality slams the door the second they can get a strong hold of it, and Azuris once more playing from familiar territory of coming back from behind. They've done it twice now, so I expect them to do it for a third, but they're gonna need to close it out this time around in order to continue the series.
We've seen deeper deficits with even less time on the clock made up here by Azuris, but Team Vitality want to get this series done and dusted. Of course, if they do take this victory, that is the sweep in their favor. This is a best of 5, ladies and gentlemen. Azuris looking for that reverse sweep. Demos coming out again here from Darkrai, but Zen still manages to find himself in a perfect position to pick up that ball. We'll take it all the way back here to try and find Monkey Moon. Then again, an option in field, but that is a lovely challenge there coming from Daiki to keep this ball forward. And again, just to keep Team Vitality to play at a high level here, because if they drop down slightly, Azuris are going to continue to make those comebacks like we've seen, frankly, in every single game so far.
Yeah, and this is like, there's no... Vitality can't just sit on their laurels and be like, oh yeah, we've earned this win now. They've seen it, right? They've earned that respect Azuris has from Vitality, that they can come back from nearly any position. And as a result, Vitality hasn't dropped down. It's because of plays like that. SK, Sicarino connecting with Daiki. That pass looks so far out in front of him, but they're on the same page. He catches it with a flip reset, and in the same moment, plays it past Exotic and Azuris, knocking on Vitality's door once again, saying, let me in. And they're about to break down the door if Vitality doesn't concede another.
Oh, and that's a big save forward. Have to take full advantage of this counterattack. It's Sicarino forcing Monkey Moon to take this one off the crossbar. Follow up from Daiki. Darkrai was there, doesn't want the hat trick, leaves it for the higher percentage play there. And it was ingenious offense there from Azuris, but still Team Vitality able to hold on. The final 30 seconds, a corner read attempted. Darkrai wants to redirect, will act as a pop-up instead. I like that back pass as well to Sicarino. Just keep the possession, keep this ball forward, because time is running down. Daiki again trying to keep it going, but with 10 seconds left on the clock, Azuris need to score, and they need it now. Daiki again leaves this one out to Monkey Moon, and this is when you start to get a little bit nervous, because Professional Rocket League doesn't abide by Rule 0. Let that ball hit the ground, take away your sweep, and just know that you got away with murder in Game 2 and Game 3 against Azuris.
Look, all of you who were like, oh, who's this Azuris team? They're nobodies. This should be a clean walk for Vitality. Hopefully your point's proven wrong. Every single one of those games was close and exciting. And all you lamos who are going to just look at the box score, the after post results on Start or Liquipedia, whichever one you use, and just see that Vitality won in a clean sweep, stop it. Educate yourself. Watch back the VOD. Look how close every single one of these games was. Don't just go by, oh, Vitality won the sweep, this team's nobody. No! They pushed Vitality to the ropes each and every single time. They came back from a deficit each and every single time. And this is a team that was not formed at the start of the season, just like the majority of the teams are going to be for this Open. Vitality, number 2 team in the world, and there were multiple points where it felt like Azuris could have take the game. You said games 2 and 3, Vitality got away with murder. They win those. All of a sudden, it's a different story. Put some respect on Azuris' name. Don't look at the 3-0 and be like, oh, that's everything you ever need to know. No. Go ahead and no ball. Everybody's so proud of the Rocket League knowledge that they're throwing out there. Teach yourselves. I'll get off my soapbox.
Exactly. Eye test, ladies and gentlemen. Don't just look at the stats. Don't just look at the results. Actually look at the nitty-gritty of the game. Because in the nitty-gritty, Team Vitality were left scrambling at certain points of that series. And I think Azuris will be coming out of that fired up, I would say. I wouldn't say happy, because they know they could have won that second and third game. And I know the mentality of these players. If they feel like a game has slipped away from them, it will fire them up. But that's exactly the mentality you need to have if you want to make new strides in the RLCS that you haven't done before in the most brutal region in the world. We will be going to the losers round 3 on the bracket. After that, we would have to win losers round 4 and losers round 5 to qualify to the Swiss stage. We're going to be playing one of either DTK or winners POV. DTK having Dafio, Twisley, and Katuzaj, or Katuzai, I will say, and winners POV being Jenner. I will go for the pronunciations. Cadley, who I'm very familiar with, and I actually think it's Cadley, and they tell me off every single time. And Mertzy, famous content creator Mertzy, is also on that winners POV side. I saw him put out a tweet looking for teammates. Looks like they're doing fairly well. Fairly well. So either way, Azuris got to have it, right, Quanzek? Azuris got to have that series.
Surely. It'll be a fun series regardless of which one of those teams it'll be. I'm hoping for the Mercy Caterly squad just because that'll be much more entertaining for us here in the booth. But Azuris, after their showing they just had with how closely that was played, and how fired up I expect they should be, I think they'll be walking away with that one. We will get that series all set up. We'll receive who the winner will be. It'll be a little bit of an extended break because we have to wait for that best of 5 to finish beforehand. So you have time to prep some food, grab a drink, and saddle up for some exciting gameplay of what's to come. But we'll be back right after this break.
on the wall, staring back at me. Stranger in the hall, frozen by the scene. Portrait seemed to fade, he lost his centerpiece. Can't recall his face, I hope he'll rest in peace. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today.
Let this be another knot to tie around my bed at night. I know I've lost the fight to erase your face, my mind. Awake, I lie here staring up beyond the sky. My time is gonna last. What if I tried to push through my past? But I don't even know if I ever fall. Will they even notice? Never cared for all goodbye love. I just wanna be alone.
ocean, empty motion. Like a roaring ocean, slow motion. The smoke lingers after fire. Lay down your troubled mind. We are only guide and will kindly cease to be as we intertwine with the universe and its cosmic symphony. The smoke lingers after fire. The smoke lingers after fire. I keep dreaming, but my dreams keep flying away. It's somewhere far beyond. Keep chasing them, and I never rest for a day. There's something I don't do. I feel the wind blowing my face, but that's alright. I smile at people passing by. Some smile back, some might not. I'm always looking for a shade when it's hot. I've been low key and I'm trying to stop. Goddamn, feeling good. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a best boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a best boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. It's been a while since I ran into you on a street. I wonder if you moved. Hope everything is going amazing for you, and you're not feeling blue. I feel the rain pour down my face, but that's alright. I smile at people passing by. Some smile back, some might not. I'm always looking for a shade when it's hot. I've been low key and I'm trying to stop. Goddamn, feeling good. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a best boy. Looking at the skyline, looking back at my life, and I gotta say it's one of a kind. Yeah, but when off I go. Pretty afternoon, it's a best boy. Looking at the skyline,
Baby, can you pray tonight? Baby, can you pray for us? Oh, baby, can you pray? 'Cause every time you make time, it's only to the end. So pray tonight. So you won't know it. For every run that we had, Mr. Right and I knew it. But I'll be ready every day. You know everything's alright. Are we gonna pray? Are you gonna pray tonight?
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Azuris broadcast. Last time you saw us, we were in the upper bracket, of course, having our battles with the mighty Team Vitality. The results said a sweep, but like Quanzek alluded to before the break, you just had to be there to see how much the Bees were scrambling against Azuris. But now, in the lower bracket, we must win 3 best-of-5s in a row to qualify to tomorrow. And, well, we've got ourselves quite an interesting matchup, don't we, Quanzek?
Winners POV is our matchup, except their name is poorly named because that would be Azuris on this side. I'm fairly confident about that one, but it will be a fun matchup regardless. Mertzy, the renowned content creator for Rocket League, loved around the scene. We both saw him put out the tweet saying, hey, looking for a team for this split. I'll be playing serious, but it will be for content. So he has been joined alongside Kadely, who you and I are both very familiar with, and Yenner is the pronunciation we are going with for Winners POV. But if Azuris played remotely similar to how they just have against Vitality, I don't imagine this will be much of a matchup. With that being said, there are 3 quality players on the blue side, so I don't want to completely discount them.
Absolutely. Winners POV are here for content, but Azuris are here to make waves in EU. There's a slight mentality difference between these two teams, but just as we say that, Azuris do get the first chance, and we're already getting a taste of what we're made of here. Daiki with that first goal of the game, completely self-set up. It's a slight miss there from Mertzy at that top corner, but the beautiful start for Azuris. And like I was saying before, Winners POV, despite having that mentality, I guess you could say here, for content, it's still a really strong side. Like we said, Kadely we're very familiar with in a bunch of more bubble-centric tournaments, and Yenna, I believe, participates in a lot more of the Benelux type scenes as well. So it's 2 very competitive players to put alongside this content creator who, with all due respect, is still a fantastic Rocket League player.
Yeah, this isn't like, oh yeah, he's just like a borderline GC player being carried. No, Mertzy can definitely hold his own, and he has 2 quality bubble tier players alongside him. So I do think it'll be a solid series. Can I ask a question real quick as well to you, Pig? And I know that you may not have all the answers, but I've been very curious if this means anything. Why does Mertzy have the apostrophe on the other side of his heart? Him and Kadely both have the heart. Why has Mertzy added the apostrophe? Is this a typo? Is this intentional? I'm assuming it's intentional because it's after the 3. It's not after the less than sign.
I don't know. Maybe he was, wanted to give it a little bit of a glimmer, wanted to give it some glints. Maybe it's a stylistic choice. Maybe it's to, just give a step up against a teammate Kadely. Just a little bit of internal issues there on the roster. No. But we'll see if any internal issues start to form, because Azuris, they're having a blinding start here in this 3rd game. 3 goals in, and I feel like this might start to feel like a bit of a day one, so let's have a little bit of a podcast. What is going on with that apostrophe?
Look, man, I was just about to make the same reference. I was going to say, and this, ladies and gentlemen, is why we don't do day ones, because Azuris is going to stomp whoever they play, and Pig and I will yap for 4 minutes about the meaningless apostrophe on the other side of Mercy's heart. And that will be the content you are getting. That'll be what you have to listen to. That we'll try to stay away from, as Azuris, I mean, they have gone off to a very blistering start, 3-0, and they haven't really tried doing it. They're just taking shots like that. Let's sail in for free. And winner's POV, Mercy, I'm sorry that your content run, hopefully it was good in day one, because that's all the actual clips you might be getting, my friend.
That is a dastardly early call, but I tell you what, I absolutely love it. I mean, we're not even halfway through game one content. This is disrespectful. I win as POV. I think they're listening into the broadcast right now. They're like, oh my goodness, who is this filthy American coming here to cast EU saying we don't stand a chance with 3 minutes left on the clock? There's the first goal for winners POV. And listen, they can be angry with the American. They're going to have to be angry with me as well, because I'm going to say that first goal doesn't matter. Azuris in 3.
There you go, man. It's not just, I'm not some dusty, dirty old American here to make my mark on the European scene. No, there is some effort being put in here by Azuris that I can just ride their coattails. And Mercy, I respect you and your German European heritage, but it is no match for Azuris on the other side of the pitch currently, as they look in the tip-top form, and the only goal that really went in was off the backs of a demo and a rolling ball. So, winner's POV, you are demo merchants, and I will refuse to hear any other arguments.
Yenna looking to do a demo right there, trying to prove you right with the first touch of the ball that winner's POV got, but Sicarino taking this one back forward for themselves. It's a nice shutdown here from Kaylee in that corner. Mertzy to try and take advantage of it themselves, but low boost, ball booms towards the net here for winners POV yet again, and Azuris doing well to hold on to this 3-goal lead as it stands. It's been fairly neutral play between these two teams, a bit of back and forth action ever since that goal from POV came in, but still we see those defenses challenged here on the goal line from the POV side, and Azuris continuing that offensive pressure, which has been characteristic of this opener.
Yeah, it's a plethora, that's the word I'm looking for, of saves collected here by winners POV. Yenner already collected his savior medal. There's another one on the board for him, and yet despite all of these saves, steering away shots from Azuris towards the blue net, winners POV have not been able to break out of their half. They do so now. Kadely air dribble from his own half, positioning behind it for the dunk. Couldn't get it all the way in. Yenner infield pass to Mercy, who goes sky high. Couldn't hit the broadside of a barn with that shot, my friend. That is, look, I'll step off, okay? I apologize. Let me rescind some of my comments. I'm only giving you a hard time because you're a content creator. Not that I have anything against content creators, but I know that you'll probably invite the invitation to turn it into something.
I'll have you know that Mertzy is actually a great friend of SirPigasus Incorporated. Took many photos wearing a SirPigasus sticker last time he went to an RLCS LAN, so every single fan photo he got had a SirPigasus sticker, including one with Jamaican coconut. So he's a great friend of the stream, and I really hope that he does not watch this broadcast back, because VODs are saved, ladies and gentlemen. So if you've enjoyed any of the action tonight, you can re-watch it later. I'm sure the boys will be wanting to re-watch this first game because it was such a great performance. 4-1 to get things started here in the lower bracket. Start how you intend to go on. I mean, that was picture perfect.
Have you just posted a picture on your Twitter? I'm sorry, I know I'm not looking at the camera right now. I'm looking at the second one. Look at Pigasus' tweet regarding this matchup. You've posted a picture from the last time that you were at with Mertzy wearing the Pigasus sticker. You're not even in it. Why are you taking
I've never met him. I've never met him.
He just got your sticker? How has this happened?
Yeah, I've never actually met Mertzy.
For SirPigasus Incorporated, because I need their contract. That's Mal doing it?
Yeah, Mal's a great friend of his and is
Wow,
also a mod for him as well, and been in a few of his videos as like a GC or a champ whenever they've needed one. But I know that he knows who I am because the other day I went into a stream, he was in chat, he saw my name and he went, "Oh no." And then when
There
the
you
streamer
go.
asked why Mertz, he said, "Oh no," he was like, "I have this guy's sticker on me at some point." And now he has unfortunately bumped into me again. Again, not in person. This time to lose against the mighty Azuris. So, you know, I struggle to have an idea here if he actually has a positive mindset of me. Or if getting, you know, a sticker thrown onto his shirt and, you know, casting him losing in the lower bracket of the RLCS is exactly going to land the impressions that I want here. But you know what? I'm all for Azuris. We're all for it. Mertzy, great friend of SirPigasus Inc. He's not throwing for us, but he can pretend and say he is.
There you go. Yeah, there's your content, Arch. I threw for my caster friend's team in RLCS. There's the title right there. And you can send him a picture of like a shocked face and views. Done.
Oh,
Done.
absolutely. I can do a good thumbnail face. Absolutely. But
I'm
of
sure
course,
you can.
But of course, if he
I-
is to make that video, I want that Azuris logo front and center. I want the world to know what were the players that were able to pull off what has been a masterclass so far. Because realistically, I've done none of the work. Daiki looking to get that opening shot here in this second game for Azuris, but still going to have to continue that fight. We do see the BDS decal there from Jena. We did beat some of their French compatriots a little bit earlier in this stream. We had some close runs with them. We certainly beat their mental, if anything else. I feel like that's the storyline we're going to go with after that upper bracket performance. Daiki, though, ooh, goes for the dummy. I think was caught between two minds there, whether to go for the redirect or go for the fake play. Either way, winner's POV able to keep that one out, and it looks like they'll open up the scoring. I don't think Kaylee's going to save that one for us. Jena will take the first here for winner's POV.
Yeah, winner's POV will be grabbing the steering wheel of our cast here, Pig, and steering it back on track to focus on the game. Azuris hasn't opened up scoring with the same manner, the battery of shots, the barrage of shots they had previously, and alongside that, they don't have the goals. Daiki was looking for Darkrai there on the recipient and just couldn't connect. And Azuris playing from behind for the first time. Winner's POV has seemingly shaped up. They look much more poised. They're challenging at the point of contact. They're not letting these balls really just come uncontested towards their own net, which is what plagued them more often than not. It was just free shots that were going in for Azuris, and Winner's POV looking to change that narrative. Starting off the scoring here and looking for a second. We'll have to worry about things defensively first as this clearance ends up back in Azuris' corner.
Sakurino will look for that second touch off that corner. Darkrai was available as that second option. And you can see how high the three players have positioned themselves, but that can leave you susceptible to a counter-attack. Here it comes. Mertzy will get the job done here after a ball off the back wall was just a bit too much for the Azuris defender to read. And now this is where you've got to lock yourself back in, pretend this team is Vitality yet again, and activate the burners a little, get the nitrous on, and take the second half of this game. We're still looking for those sweeps here in the lower bracket.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what's happened here. I mean,
Oof.
Okay, I'm very much not very sure what's happened here. Nobody makes contact with this one. Kaylee wins a high 50. I think he was reading Kaylee. But Kaylee came spiraling around that ball and didn't make any contact, and so nobody found it. And Azuris is in the same hole that Winner's POV was in game number 1. And they look rather worse for wear with the display that they put on. I don't know if they got complacent after their first win of the day, but this is not the situation that we want to see them in. Sakurino, I do like the idea behind that fake flip there. Couldn't find Hater, however, nor that full boost in the corner, and that one could have been a fourth had Mertzy put it on frame. Darkrai looking for help, just going to take it himself with that 45-degree flick. Can't steal the boost, can't get the demo either, and Yenner gets away despite somebody on his tail. Azuris still looking for their opener here in game 2.
And Mertzi tried some of those ground game tricks. I know that that's a very strong area of his game. He will be up to try and read that back wall. Doesn't quite get off the back of it. Sicarino will take it forward yet again. There's options in field, but the defensive side doing well to shut down some of these gaps. Azuris having to work that little bit harder to try and get that killer shot across. It feels like all steps except the final one have come together for the Azuris offense. And once they do find that one killer opening, that pass inside to break through, you'd hope that that would be the start of a waterfall of attacks here for this side to potentially make a comeback or at least try and build up some momentum before that third game. But for now, the offense, it has been there, Quanzek. It's just been a little bit flat at the final hurdle.
And yeah, and I don't really know where that change has come from. I understand a lot of the goals that Azuris scored weren't necessarily quality ones. It was more so winner's POV flopping around and not getting a hand to it, an axle to it, if you will. But to be this far of a swing after only a 60-second pause between games 1 and 2 is quite puzzling in my mind to see what the difference maker is. But this game looks like it's firmly in winner's POV favor, and yet that was the opposite case in game number 1. So Azuris will go to the drawing board in game 2. We will stop our yapping about all nonsense regarding anything else regarding the game and focus on what has turned into an actual series here in the losers bracket.
Yeah, it has been. This has become more of a match than we were led to expect after what was such a dominant first game performance. And I feel like, again, it's going to be one of those games, just like we saw pretty similarly, actually, in the upper brackets, where it feels like the stats really haven't told everything there. Winners POV win 3-0, but a lot of that was a bit of early action for them, seemingly catching Azuris off guard. And then towards those later stages, it felt like Azuris did have a majority of that possession. It felt like they had most of that offensive force, but it was just, causing cracks. But it wasn't actually punching their way through that brick wall, which they had seemingly just continuously banged their head into throughout the majority of that second game. So I hope that in this third game, we, keep that offensive pressure, but just have a bit more aggression when it comes to getting that final step.
Agreed. We have the recipe, right? I mean, we weren't shut out a single time against Vitality. Number 2 team Europe. Top 4 team in the world. And yet we were just shut out by Winners POV. What does that mean? Winners POV is winning the Raleigh Major. You heard it here first. No, it means that we know how to score against anybody and everybody. And the fact that we are not doing so currently is a little bit of a concern. So hopefully that break has made us realign everything, and Azuris scores right here. Bang! No, Daiki got denied by Mertzi, and Yen are on the ball now. Sicarino playing that around. Darkrai to the front, and Azuris does look a bit more hungry. They're coming out off this opening kickoff, just trying to get anything towards the net, and I do like that ideology.
Daiki again. Won't be able to break past Kaylee. It was an opportunity where he wanted to get those nice touches going together in their favor. The first one was just a bit too heavy there, and that's led to them giving away possession. It's a nice shot from Mertzi, but Daiki does well to knock this one right to Sicarino. Gonna be Daiki again, drop down, and it's just some of these plays are not quite stringing together. It was a nice offensive chance there from Yenna to try and take advantage of what has been a bit of a scrappy opening between both of these sides, in all fairness. It's all about who can see through that chaos. It's not going to be the defensive player. It's not going to be the offensive player. It's going to have to be the second attempts from the players all around. It's been a little bit of a shaky start here in this third game, and you just hope that Azuris will be the team to get their marbles together first. Darkrai with a great start there coming from that flip resale opportunity.
And this is back into the normal stead of things that we expected. It's constant swarming pressure from Azuris. They haven't been able to break through seemingly a force field in front of the winner POV net. It's so weird to say that mid-cast when, there's a game going on right now. We're not remotely close to deciding a win in this game 3, but That is the name choice that they have gone with, and I'm pretty sure they know what they are doing. Kadely won't be able to make contact there, and that means Yenner's on a little bit of an island, but he plays the backboard defense well. Dark ride towards the net. Kadely backflip save, and Daiki a little bit too far away to get back to that one. It'll filter around here in the corner, where it's Kareem back in front for Sicarino. Finds a dunk, but he'll go from corner to corner. And Azuris still looking for the opening to open up scoring. Shot on. Forces 2 away. They have negligible boost on the side of Winners POV, but still hanging on by a thread.
Oh, great shot there coming from Sicarino. Mertzi does his due diligence at keeping it out, and now Winners POV might have that counterattack, but this was some of the venom that I was looking for in that last game. I love an attempt at the bottom corner. Now Sicarino just looking to get that ball forward yet again, but Winners POV just passing this one out of defense. They've been looking for those quick counters all game, but Azuris have done well to drop back as soon as that offense has been lost and not been caught out in some of these more transitional appearances in play. There's a huge miss coming from Winners POV in the wider angles, but cutting inside from the corners is such a tough job to do at every single level of the game. It's why they say it's the safest position for the defensive team. But now Daiki with some space here central. It will float around a little bit erratically here for Winners POV to try and read, but ultimately Sicarino will be the one to see through. And I must say, I feel like I've been saying his name constantly throughout this third game, and I've been impressed with what I have seen from Sicarino. But we just need a little bit more just cohesion between the roster to just get those final stringed plays together to get that first goal, because we are within a drought with 90 seconds still to play.
Yeah, just getting more creative, I think, with these setups is the angle that Azuris needs to be looking for. A lot of the setups have just been rolling balls around the corner, and they're hoping for a good bounce. This one, though, is a good look for Darkrai. He just has an open net. I don't really know what happened for Winners POV here. 2 commit here with Mercy and Kaylee. They try to combine, and Yenner was sitting on that midfield boost, trying to get a bit greedy. Didn't start his rotation when he needed to. And Azuris finally opens up scoring, not by the manner I thought it would happen, where they orchestrate a great goal themselves. Instead, it is Winners POV falling apart, much akin to how they did in game number 1. But it's still a lead regardless, and one that hopefully we can hold on to. For the remaining minute, Kadely off his own post. Nearly a fantastic own goal there. But it does remain out, and Azuris only the 1-goal lead.
And it feels like so far this has been a game decided by its mistakes. No mistakes made there, but the defense instead. Sicarino deciding to go the entire way alone. The corners are safe. Not when this play is in possession. A triple touch into the top corner should see Azuris landing themselves into a match point situation. My goodness. I was talking about this being a game of mistakes, a game where they haven't been able to create their own opportunities. Sicarino throws that idea out the door.
Yeah, Sicarino, that shot was so good, he had me hollering like an old dog that just had his paw stepped on. And Sicarino, he was the catalyst to that goal in triple tap, and the mental from Winners POV sapped in the waning seconds of this game. There's just not much left in the tank. They're still stuck in their own half, and Darkrai's playing with his food with that little fake there. Azuris rebounds in a big way here in game number 3, and they cash in a 2-0 lead to put themselves on series point.
That's better. That's what we were looking for late in that game 3. It was a game about consistency for the majority of it. I mean, both teams were relatively solid, did well to just clamp down on their defense and make sure they didn't concede. And it was just about not making that first mistake. Winners POV did, and well, once it starts to rain, it pours when it comes with this team. They are able to just kick you whilst you're down. They were even able to do it against Team Vitality, where even if there was a bit of a goal drought at the beginning of the game, once they got that first goal, they'd get the second, they'd get the third, and actually they scored a heck of a lot of goals against the second seed team over here in Europe. And now that they got that momentum, so close to the end of that last game, you'd hope that that is going to be one that transitions over. I hope we're not going to be caught by any more surprises like we were in that second game. But with Winners POV being so much of a wild card factor, of course, you've got to play as if that is in the question. You've got to continue at the best of your abilities.
100%. And it's not just this series, right? You're building up for what is, you know, to be created as a very long and arduous lower bracket run, where it's a requirement if you want to qualify into day 3. And this team can, but withdrawing Vitality in the first matchup, things got that much more difficult. It's going to have to be through the lowers. And this is a good way to start it on what should be the final game in this series. Darkrai hustling there off the opening kickoff, and Azuris on the board much sooner than they were in our previous 5-minute frame.
Well, Azuris were thirsty after that gold drought at the beginning of that last game, but now they're having their fill. Really early goal to get things going, looking to get themselves a second as well. The Winners POV defense left scrambling at the face of this danger, but Azuris have been able to ignite, but we saw them able to rip back the driver's seat in matches before. Sicarino, though, what a fantastic series he's had, is not going to let that one drop down easily. That's an insane dunk against the former 7th best freestyler in the world. Sicarino shows them how it's done. That is disgusting. I don't think we can show that. That is ridiculous from, as chat would call him, the unk of the roster.
Oh, man. The fact his car was in such a good position to read the touch coming off of Mertzy's car. Don't concede to this early, though. Sicarino, two-way player, getting the save on that shot attempt. Jenner trying to put that one in. Dryer's another quality Benelux player, but not currently on the pitch right now. Mertzy trying to push this one forward for Winners POV. That might be the first time they've entered the orange half in what feels like 6 minutes. Not cashing in quite yet, and they really need to swing momentum back in their favor. Otherwise, Sicarino might be starting to feel himself. No, I thought he could get there with the sidewall double tap. Can't connect necessarily. Mertzy can on this pass. It'll be turned aside by Daiki, and he'll take over after a whiff from Cayley there on the sidewall.
And it's going to be back to the defense of Winners POV. That heavy touch from Mertzy, though, just gives Darkrai too much space. Flip reset, will seek it under. And they're just freestyling now, Azuris. You've seen that confidence increase since that last game started to progress. Since that one mistake was shown by Winners POV, Azuris sniff out that weakness. It was such great composure there from Darkrai to sit so deep to get that free touch and to go under for that flip reset as well. Didn't flip reset too early, took full advantage of that fear factor that getting that reset gives you. And now with 3-0, it's starting to look a lot more than game 1. And if I actually rewind back this stream a little bit, it was at this point that the sweep was getting called by my co-caster. It might not be a sweep, but it might be game, set, match by Sicarino.
Firing on all cylinders right now. Sicarino feeling himself. Azuris, this is what they should have been tapped into the entire time. Game 2 felt, comparatively to what we're seeing now, just a bit lazy and not really to the ball. Winners POV either tapped into something extraordinary, or Azuris did get complacent with their first win of the day, but they've found their footing once more here, and they're running away with it. 4-0 by led, much to his chagrin, is Sicarino, and not looking to slow down anytime soon here as he's coming off the back wall. Ooh. And he's gonna fake out Mertzy as Darkrai will be the one who gets the hat trick. He forces Mertzy to read him coming off the wall and just lets it sail in itself.
That's dirty, and that is how you know that you've got those stocks in your favor now. You've got the respect that a player like Mertzy is going to anticipate that you're going to go for that touch and go for that redirect in the first place. If Mertzy had just a little bit less respect for him there, he would have gone straight for ball. He wouldn't have thought about the 50. He wouldn't have thought of having to make that read. But Azuris have earned themselves that as this series has progressed, and they're going to be earning themselves that title against much more teams as this season progresses if they can keep performances like this going. They've already had a strong showing against Team Vitality. They're having a fantastic showing against winners POV. It's just turned to 6 as Sicarino gets a perfect hat-trick of themselves. That's 3 goals coming from 3 shots. And EU is going to start to tremble.
They should, man. You watch that Vitality series between them and Azuris, and there's a lot of phenomenal takeaways that they showed in just those 3 games. Could have stolen 1 or 2, and maybe stolen isn't even the correct verbiage here. They were in the running for 2 of those games, and had those gone their way, that would have ended up across the Twitter sphere for EU Rocket League of a major upset happening here. Vitality going down to Azuris. Who is this roster? GC in Disguise would have been posting about us. It would have ended up on Shift. Instead, though, it'll be a lower bracket run, and winners POV will get their first of this game. Theoretically, there's still a way in it for them, but it is a long hike up to get that to that 6-point total that Azuris has already collected.
And there's going to be a long break between games as well. And why not send the team on vacation to Brazil? Of course, 1 goal required here for Azuris to get that coveted title. And I am just looking a little bit ahead as well at the bracket at the moment. We do have NXT going to be the final gatekeepers in the losers round 5. That's going to be a roster of Stupsy, MD and Kex to hold the fort here to a potential Swiss stage qualification. It's going to be a tough team to face, especially with them going to game 5 against Bill's Bulls. Apologies, that's a rather fascinating name that they decided to have, and losing in a sweep against Team JJ Rocks, who has historically always been a really tough roster. So NXT going to be a hard team to face, but of course there is going to be that series in between first. Here's the Brazil guaranteed here, and it's in gorgeous fashion here by Daiki.
Look, man, they let in that 1 goal all to set up the meme. If Rhino were in the booth, the sunglasses would be going on currently, but that is not the situation, as Azuris is still looking for more, any sort of momentum, any sort of power, strength, respect they can get in EU, more confidence they can feel head into the rest of today, the better. On the quest for day 3, and this team with how they're playing can definitely get there. It's just a matter of executing when your name's called. What a pass here by Kadely. Mertzy had already been pre-flipping winners POV. That's what they've resorted to, is freestyling here for the content of Mertzy. I clipped on the pro RLCS team. It's the future title that they're hoping for. Couldn't connect on that look, though. And the clock's officially at 000s, which means Azuris has done it. They've booked their win here over the top of winners POV, and they will move on into losers round 4. Only 2 more series to go officially before they qualify into Swiss stage, day number 3 for this open. And man, outside of that 1 hiccup in game number 2, they looked really good, Pigasus.
They really did, and I'm sure that Darkrai's family watching at the moment and probably hearing him in another room as well are going to be really happy with that performance. I mean, you go to the lower bracket, you have to create some kind of statement to show that, you know, you're down, but you're not out. You're here to compete. You're here to get yourself to those Swiss stages. And I feel like a performance like that really did it. I mean, game 2 definitely felt like it was a bit of a one-off moment there. We really didn't see anything like that for the other 3 games that they played. They were solid. They were aggressive. They were prolific as well in front of net. I mean, I believe it was Darkrai got himself a hat-trick. There was another perfect hat-trick on the pitch as well. It feels like if you allow them too much space in that final third, eventually you are going to get yourself punished. And I feel like that was a bit of a learning curve that Azuris had as the series progressed there, where I felt like they were not taking those chances. Even in game 1, those latter stages where it felt like their opponents were getting a little bit stronger and warming up into things, But now that we feel like, we're full guns blazing, we've had that warm up against, some of the best that Europe can offer, and of course the very formidable side of Winners POV, we should be looking ahead at the bracket. What is going to be coming up for this roster. Of course, we've got losers round 4 and losers round 5 awaiting. Our favourites to be our opponents for that losers round 4 matchup is going to be, I'm going to let my American friend go.
Oh, don't
that
do that
name.
to me, man. I was so ready. I was so ready to hear you stumble up and... Oh, man. Do we have any...
Melkedrongen?
That is so much better than I ever could have done. You got the accent.
That's what I'll go for.
Decent pronunciation I would put there as well.
I'm sure they disagree there, but it is a team of Mats Gray, Trebler, HB, and Zuki are listed on that roster. Of course, Trebler being that shock European player who caused waves in the 1v1 scene, but is no stranger to 3v3 as well. Mats Gray was teamed with, I believe, Vozian and Chippy at some point during the last split. He had quite a few rosters, Chippy Chips, Atomcore, and Hivilpuls as well. He was a part of. He was getting himself pretty consistent top 32s, and I believe he may have grabbed himself one top 16, but please do not quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. So that's going to be a really tough team to face in that losers round 4. And I would say that if we could beat that team, I think we beat NXT. I'm going to say with that much confidence. I would say that we've probably got the harder draw first, even though NXT have performed amazingly today with that Game 5 win, Bills Balls, a little bit earlier in the day. But also, it was earlier in the day. They've had a extremely long break before they're eventually going to play that series.
Yeah, that's how, with how this format is set up by Blast, where every single lower bracket game is a best of 5. When I did NA a week ago for day 2, there was a 2.5-hour break from winners round 2 to losers round 5. And NXT is probably sitting on that. Azuris has another 45-minute break coming our way once we throw this to an intermission, because there's a whole series that needs to be played beforehand. So it's up to these players to figure out how to stay warm, how to get some experience under their belt, and just feel confident coming into that next game. I will say, the more series that Azuris collects, the better I feel. They're a rather on the younger side for a roster, and a roster that this experience is clutch. It's crucial for what they're trying to put on the pitch, and that, I think, we saw was learned in real time against Winners POV of stomp game 1, lose game 2, not look like yourself, and all of a sudden, oh wait, we need to play games 3 and 4, we're not close. So hopefully it's more of the same, but we have some waiting to go before we take on the likes of... I'm not even going to try. I'm going to wait to hear you pronounce it a couple more times. Michael, whatever. I like to think myself as fairly cultured for an American, but that is one
that is a step too far.
Dutch connection I just cannot get to. Yeah. But that will be on the other side of this upcoming break, 45 minutes or so. So go run an errand and come back, because what's to come after that should be back-to-back blistering action of 2 phenomenal series. Don't go anywhere.
need you like the radio. You keep the beat alive. Gotta have you like the stereo. I need you in my life. Hey, you're my obsession. 'Cause baby, you're my melody so sweet. Hey, you're my obsession. Hey, you're my obsession.
The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. I'm reaching out, but all I feel is hollow. I wanna make you work, but all I do is make you worse. The truth is a damn hard pill to swallow. Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna come on over? Don't you wanna work it out? Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? Don't you wanna fix our problems? Baby, I can show you how. Don't you wanna love me better, love me better, love me now? but she knows that I gotta be trusted. She fed love, but the race is lasting. She fed love, but she knows that I gotta be trusted. She fed love.
but you long gone, it don't matter. Ride or die, that's been the deal. The light of your back, I disappear. But if you don't play that for me, I'm out of it, I'm out of it. I lick my gun and then I'm done. I'm out of it, I'm out of it. No man to tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you, the weight of you, of my shoulder. Done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away, do you, the weight, do you, the weight, do you, don't need a no tell me you're no good. I'm brushing away, do you? The weight of you, of my shoulder. So done with my cigarette, and when all the smoke is clear, I'm brushing away, do you? The weight of you, the weight of you. Don't need an old man. Please forgive me. Please forgive me.
clash thing, we not come to play. The rhythm and me style ram thing, pumping up the bass. Give you rise, can't cool, make the fire blaze. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Pull up my selector, hold tight, we mash up the place. Selector, hold tight, we must up the place. Selector, hold tight, we must up the place.
I don't know why you left me bleeding, with a broken heart. Tell me if I deserve this feeling. I thought that you know that we had something special till you end up all this way. Please tell me when you left me bleeding, with a broken heart. Tell me why I deserve this feeling. I thought that you loved me, I thought that you need me till you end up all this way. Have you forgot all the moments while we had was so true? This one was made for two. I did it
Who we touch my skin. Am I real? Cause I felt something leave from within. I feel empty, have I got nothing left to give? Am I living? Cause I only felt alive with him. I'm driving in the night, the hood down. It's when I feel alive, when no one's around. The darkness deep inside comes to light now. But it's alright, it's alright. I can break no hearts if I got none. I won't break apart if I stay on the run. But sometimes in the night I miss the sun. Why did darkness come? I felt my body break, my heart give up. Why did darkness come? I felt the lightning shake me into hell. Why did darkness come? I wanna stay in here where I belong. Why did darkness come? Something keeps waking me up. Why did darkness come? Why did darkness come? Break, my heart give up. Why did darkness come? I felt the lightning shake me into hell. Why did darkness come? I wanna stay in here where I belong. Why did darkness come? Something keeps waking me up. Nothing left to give. When we break apart, the darkness with him. Ooh. Why did darkness come? Why did darkness come? Why did darkness come?
Up all night by myself, trying to think of ways to you. Your voice stuck in my brain, we never got to see it through. And I know I feel more pain if we're speaking truth. Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. 'Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. Looking back at our time, hoping that we did it right. And give me any reason to call you up late at night. And we know it's for the best, I won't put up a fight. 'Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know. I just don't know. 'Cause when the daylight comes, I still lose. So will I feel it again? I just don't know. And I'm hoping I'll find a way to let go. So if you love me, how could you leave me so low? So will I feel it again? I just don't know. I just don't know.
Where am I going now? Just falling over dreams. Now I'm just so far gone, this isn't what it seems. Taking me so damn long, it's fading from belief. I need to slow this down, it's burning from beneath. Come break this line, it falls in my eyes. Holding on for what is worth my life. I'm all inside, I'll make it up the vine. Find my way to giants in the sky. Tonight it comes to life.
Don't you think we could be different if we could just take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows, feel the wind rushing through, hear the music, take the groove. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high, you and I, pinnacle, climactic vibe. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the 9 to 5, I just wanna feel alive. Take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend you're shy. Take it slow, let it go. Let's take a trip to uptown. Don't you wish we could be out of sight, out of mind? Take my hand, don't go slow, I'm chasing the afterglow. Dance with me while the beat finally got some clarity. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high, you and I, pinnacle, magnified. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the world outside, turn it up to overdrive. Take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend you're shy. Take it slow, let it go, take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, let it go, take it slow, let it go. Don't you wish we could be out of sight, out of mind? Take my hand, don't go slow, I'm chasing the afterglow. Dance with me while the beat finally got some clarity. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high, you and I, pinnacle, climactic vibe. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the world outside, turn it up to overdrive. Take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows. Take it slow, let it go, take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, let it go. Put my hand up a soul. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend you're shy. Take it slow, let it go, take it slow, let it go. Take it slow, take it slow, let it go. Let's take a trip to uptown. Don't you wish we could be out of sight, out of mind? Take my hand, don't go slow, I'm chasing the afterglow. Dance with me while the beat finally got some clarity. Don't you know all I'll ever really wanna be is a connected high, you and I, pinnacle, magnified. Show me yours, I'll show you mine, you don't have to pretend we're shy. Let's forget the world outside, turn it up to overdrive. Take it slow, let it go, roll down all the windows.
Yo, stay focused, man's on a mission. Wavy like the ocean, ain't got time for inhibition. Eyes on a prize, lock it in your vision. Straight up, man, that's gotta make a decision. Stay focused, man, I gotta go. Can't be going backwards, I can't be going slow. Gotta take the lead and I gotta steal the show. It's a straight up madness, you know how we roll. Madness, you know how we roll. Man, I gotta go. Can't be going backwards, I can't be going slow. Gotta take the lead and I gotta steal the show. It's a straight up madness, you know how we roll. madness, you know how we roll. Give me that. Straight up madness, you know how we roll.
longer I awaited the change that never came. The more I want forever, the less I feel the same. So I made my decision, and after came the pain. Say this will be easy to forget. The longer I awaited the change that never came. The more I want forever, the less I feel the same. So I made my decision, and after came the pain. Say this will be easy to forget. Say this will be easy to forget. Say this will be easy to forget. The longer I awaited the change that never came. The more I want forever, the less I feel the same. So I made my decision, and after came the pain. Say this will be easy to forget.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Azuris broadcast. We continue our run here in the lower bracket for the losers round 4. Azuris versus Milkadrongen. Is that okay? I think it's decent. I mean, it is hard when you're facing a Scandinavian roster. I believe that's probably some Danish. We know that it means the Milk Boys. It's going to be a tough roster. You know what? We don't know the pronunciations, but let's focus on the things we do know about, and that is the talent on that opposing roster, Quan.
Yeah, and I appreciate you for taking the lead here, then giving what I know is a shallow dig my way for referencing what region of the world they are from. I understand I made a mistake before the break, but that's okay.
You're American. It's okay.
Anytime I'm not smart, I can just call myself a dumb American, even though it's a brutal online stereotype that unfortunately is permeated by a ton of actually really stupid Americans who No, absolutely nothing. I fumbled there. I made an uneducated assumption, and I was off by a few hundred kilometers in terms of the nationality of where that was coming from. But you threw this over to me to reference the roster, the teams on the other, or the players on the other side. And Trebla, who you and I are very familiar with, and you mentioned before we threw the break, he made the waves in the EU1's event. Didn't end up winning, but really threw off what people considered to be the projected names. Matt Gray, who is always on a solid, consistent team. Dude is permanently top 8, never goes anywhere else. And HP, who very quality bubble player, hoping to make his mark here. We've seen him in a couple of redirect monthlies. Shout out Haza. But for right now, it's Azuris already looking good with the opening goal, a good set play for a little tap-in goal. And if they continue playing the way that they have, I think this should be a very solid series, but theoretically on paper, we're coming in as the underdog.
I'd have to agree here. Looking at those opponents, the name on that roster and the proven talent, especially when it comes to Matt Gray, even in this specific RLCS season, a few top 32s to his name. I want to say that he made a top 16, or at least came very, very close. He's always one of those players that the opponents have to fear once he's in the same lobby as them. That being said, though, Azuris doing well to get those first scores on the doors. I feel like we would have expected to face this team in the next round of play. Of course, that final qualification match into the Swiss stage where NXT are currently holding the fort. But for now, Azuris, it's a fantastic start for them with that first goal. And play seemingly continuing here. We are against what we have found out translates to the Milk Boys here on the orange side, but Azuris coming with their own special delivery.
Yeah, and that is... I appreciate that shout there. Milk Boys does... I mean, I don't like the sound of it, but it's going to be a defense that I do like the sound of those saves coming through for Azuris. They've been poised thus far, holding on to this 1-goal lead, but this game is played very tightly. Lots of trading blows of possession. Difficulty for either team to gain a whole lot of space as Daiki plays that one off the sidewall. It's going to float on over to Matsgray, who runs out of boost and loses that once again to Daiki. Sending his teammate forward to help him out, but Daiki once again in this play, seemingly a magnet for the last 30 seconds. Finally, Matsgray plays around him and shot off, and a backflip bicycle save from Darkrai, and somehow they remain with the Milk Boys on a shutout.
And it was so scary there at that front posting. All three players bunch up, but being able to see your way through the chaos and focus back into those B, C, D plans there for this Azuris roster is what's going to have to put them ahead. You're this far now in the bracket where those mistakes are almost guaranteed to be punished immediately. So you have to do something special to fight for survival. And this is what this match is for. It's the lower bracket. You are this series and another away from top 32 in the hardest region in the world. You have to be consistent. You have to be disciplined. And you have to make sure that any mistakes are patched up pretty blooming quickly.
And when both you and I agree that this should be the harder series between the two that Azuris has left, consider this as your qual match. You get through here and the road should theoretically be lighter. The weight on your shoulders condensed, but that's not ideal there. Matsgray going to be able to put that one in. Trebla had a ton of boost, and that double commit on the back end defensively for Azuris left nobody back home. It was Sicarino rotating back, trying to get there in time, but not able to connect. And now we're going to hit 90 seconds and entering golden goal territory with both these teams tied at 1.
And it's going to be Daiki there, trying to get that 50-50 with HK instead, though. Sicarino knocks it high and forward, had 0 boost, however, so it's just going to have to resort to that first touch, dropping back and getting themselves ready for the upcoming defense. Because we've seen a few signs here of what these opponents can do once they get themselves possession. They're really good at just changing the momentum of play constantly, and I feel like that's what you've got to come to expect here when you've got such experience on the roster. You've got a 1v1 talent as well. They know how to slow the play down in their favor and then immediately ramp it back up. You've just got to be able to keep up with that acceleration that those opponents are going to give you, or you're just going to get caught out in defense. Here's an opportunity to catch them out, however. It's a nice shot there from Darkrai, but Max Gray not going to feel too challenged there with that save to the corner.
Yeah, there's a lot of pace behind it, so I thought maybe it had a chance, but now both these teams looking for a hero. Trebla going off the bar. Daiki has to get there in time, and he does, playing that out of danger into the corner. The corners lead to much lower percentage shots than the center does. It's still Azuris, though, looking for a little bit of breathing room. That one just really given up by Sicarino, and that's not the look you want to see when Azuris finally broke out of their own half. Darkrai, good challenge there. Daiki trying to keep it alive, runs out of boost, but finds a good challenge onto HP. Sicarino off the board, just going to drop down, and Darkrai opting to keep it alive. He was hoping to get back there with the full tank of boost. We got demo for his efforts. Now Trebla going the distance, and Sicarino says, we've had enough of that. We have OT in game number 1.
Golden goal now in this first game. This is going to be an important goal to get. It might just be the most important one of the series, just to give yourself that front footing, that bit of control, that confidence. It takes a little bit of weight off you as well. And if Azuris are able to make the most of this offensive opportunity, then we can expect great things out of this series. But first, Daiki coming in from the corner has to try and find someone in field. Max Gray does well to get that long touch forward. Darkrai wanted to try and get the cut against Max Gray, but he read that play a little bit in advance. That's going to be a lost touch there from Trebla, however, to give this ball back to Azuris. Darkrai looking for those flip resets. He scored some of those a little bit earlier in the day, but time stronger opposition are going to be prepared to stop that one dead in its tracks. And just shy of the first minute of OT, play progresses, and Azuris looking strong.
They do look very poised. I mean, I think this is setting the stage for what the rest of the series will be. A very tense bout between both these teams where every single inch matters. And Darkrai trying to be the one to seal the deal in game 1. Matt Gray got a save. That one once again towards the net for him. Daiki. Darkrai again, third time, and Matt Gray a savior medal in this single sequence as Trebla double tap now, and just like that, things seemingly had opened up for Azuris. They hit the post, they get 3 quality shots, but they bit off more than they can chew, and the transition play gets there in time. So it will be the Milk Boys 2-1 over the top of Azuris in what was a very difficult game number 1 for both sides.
How dare he? It's a lovely setup there by the Milk Boy Trebla for that final goal of the game. Azuris, though, came out swinging, and they looked like, to me, the favourite team in that overtime until that final opportunity. But there are some games here that are decided by moments. Trebla was able to create that moment. Matt Gray's positioning throughout the entirety of that game was fantastic as well, constantly keeping the Azuris defense on their toes. But I feel like we could throw those same points back to our own players against him. I mean, there was a reason it went to overtime. There's a reason why it was such a close game. It's because Azuris were immediately able to establish themselves, stamp themselves in the series after what has been quite a long break for them, being completely honest, between their losers round 3 and losers round 4 match. They should have been the team coming in here not very warmed up, getting, you know, played with a little bit for this first game, and then maybe you'd give them some faith heading into game 2. That wasn't what we saw. Very, very strong, quick out the gates, and if they have another level to show, bring it on.
I do completely agree with you, but I'll also throw in, it did feel like there was a switch that was flipped. About 2 minutes into that game, we started off very flat-footed, and yeah, it wasn't as bad as you would have thought, considering the 50-minute break and the Milk Boys coming off a long, arduous series just before this. About 2 minutes in, it felt like we finally found our footing. We're able to exit our half and take it to the opposition, just like right there Sicarino was trying to accomplish. Here he goes again off the board. Matt Gray getting a chip out. HP gonna race Darkrai. That one straight to the ceiling. Now Matt Gray back over to HP to fully establish themselves in the blue half. Darkrai sends it right back the other direction. Return to sender. And the physicality coming out here from Azuris already. Sicarino specifically has found himself a couple of bumps in a demo in his hand, and I do like that transition, and I think it's really off the tails of what that OT looked like. They couldn't get the ball in despite whatever they tried, and resorting to bumps or demos should open up more space.
I mean, if it worked against Vitality, it could work against this team as well. That was how we set up quite a lot of our plays. Some of those double demos coming in. I think of one play, especially from Sicarino. I believe it was in game 2 where he completely opened up space for Darkrai to get that first goal. This time it's just Trebler alone, just showing us some of those ground game tricks you can come to expect here by one of the best ones players in Europe, and I guess you could say the world in extension as well. But that one not quite finding the back of the net. There were 2 defenders waiting, and that's one more than he's used to.
Well, if you are a one's main, that is correct. The 1v2 becomes a much more difficult situation. We've all had that unfortunately happen to us in a few ranked games where your opponent DCs or rage quits 1-2 and you're scrambling about trying to do what you can. And then when you win 1 in like the 20 you play, you're like, I'm the next coming of Zen. Azuris, having to worry about things defensively right now. HP off the corner looking for help. Matsgrave meets Sicarino. This one back out to Trebla, and Darkrai chasing it down. Azuris kind of playing catch up right now, having to react instead of predict the plays as Sicarino gets a save against his own bar. Azuris has to find the boost and the time, but the Milk Boys have done such a good job of keeping this rotation tight and not letting Azuris out of their half. Finally, Daiki breaks the seal. Darkrai trying to keep it going, but there's no boost to establish themselves with a long-winded offense, and back the other way come HP.
And Sicarino's going to get beaten there by Trebler. Darkrai has a quick decision to make, just about getting that touch to knock it wide, and it'll go again for his second as well. Just keeps Matsgrave guessing there, eliminating all that space he could have had, and there were options in field for it to play it to. So he's forced out some panic here from these opponents, and it's what's kept this game goalless. I am loving the performance so far from Azuris in defense, because these opponents have had to work so hard to even get some sights at net, even if they're going to have that final third possession. However, Trebler, we've seen how dangerous he can be on the double taps, which is why I think some of these players are starting to give them a lot less space.
Recognizing that respect coming through Azuris, I just want to see some pivot to offense. Because be able to, force the issue rather than responding to it defensively. They've done well to hold on. Maybe this is it. Daiki trying to bully Matsgrave out of the way. Can't fully connect on the demo. They do manage to steal away Matsgrave boost and maybe infield pass. Daiki for it all. Just a little bit wide right. Matsgrave pre-flip clearance denied by Sicarino, where he meets HP midair. Trebla pushing it forward. Daiki around him, trying to do what he can against HP. Help from Darkrai to force it along. Now he's somehow still in the air after recovering. SK loses that challenge to Trebla. And the back and forth commotion finally coming down to a little bit of breathing room as both these teams regroup, still looking for our first goal in game 2.
And there's a demo to open things up, but there's going to be a respawn before it can cause any damage here. Daiki looking to find Darkrai in field. Is it his turn with a backboard? HP says no, but Sicarino will have a go on that right wall himself. And I must say, if we're going to give one compliment to the opponents, it's to have resourcefulness. Low in boost, it felt like Azuris were dominating in that regard in offense, but still couldn't find that space to concede. And now they're the ones that are going to start to trickle down that boost count with 4 seconds left to go. They need to let this one hit the ground. They can't allow it in the back of their net. Overtime awaits yet again in game 2.
Darkrai chip forward. The kickoff stretch, we've seen success from Azuris time and time again. Can they find that catalyst once more? That boon. That's not the touch you want from Daiki. It's straight out to Trebla. Sicarino able to recover and find a save, but they're not out of the woods yet. Daiki, booming touch that hits the backboard with pace. As it's almost a pass to Sicarino as he's there in time. And now on the back foot are the Milk Boys. Diving save from Matsgrave. They are all at relatively full boost despite being stuck in their own half. That's a good challenge, though, by Sicarino. He only had a penny to his name. Daiki towards the net off the back wall looking for help. It's himself with the challenge where HP collects his savior medal. Sicarino now looking for a fall. Darkrai, that one won't find through. Matt's Gray still on charge defensively, collecting save after save. And now all 3 members of the Milk Boys combined in the corner. They are desperate right now to find any sort of time. Pigasus shot on Daiki, not on target.
And just keep it like this. Maintain that balance of offensive prowess without getting complacent. Stay disciplined. Make sure there is that third man. Darkrai, though, hitting this one towards the back wall. Matt's Gray forced to make that heavy touch. And it's a lot of time being given here for the opponents to regroup. But that being said, with 3 Azuris players behind the ball here, you wouldn't expect them to be in too much danger. HP, though, trying to create that danger. But these yellow warning signs are nothing here for Darkrai. HP second touch, not enough power. And that's a big commit there from Mads Gray. Trebler, however, will get that job done as that third man. They were too fast onto the ball here. Azuris couldn't quite keep up, and I feel like that was just one double commit to make the difference here and put our opponent on an unfortunate match point. But that one, felt like it could have been ours. Maybe should have been ours.
Definitely should have been. I will agree with you there. I mean, the defense had to be on point for Azuris this time around. 8 saves total. Trebla, 8 shots himself alone. Outside of that, the scoreboard looks relatively even for all other 5 players on the pitch. And 2 games and 2 overtime losses here, Pigasus. Not what you want to see. Bounces not going our way. And really, it's a tough draw down here. I mean, if you're looking at the bracket play in totality for Azuris today, it has been Vitality, round 1. It has been Winners POV, which quality roster for what is proposed in the Losers Bracket 3. They are a very high bubble team that were trying to make their mark. And now here, it's another top 32, top 16 caliber team. And this is happening before the last series of the day. It's been a gauntlet, and Azuris has pulled the short end of the stick, especially with where these bounces are going. The Rocket League gods do not favor them today. But hey, with how close these 2 games have been, get the ball rolling back in your favor. Connect 1 win, 2 wins that, these first 2 maybe should have been ours, and we're back on our horses in the race. You just need to start crawling through towards what would be a reverse sweep, because that's the unfortunate situation we find ourselves in right now.
The day started, of course, with that upper round 1 versus Team Vitality. It may have been the first series that this stream saw, but it was a whole day of action yesterday that Azuris had to play. And in that final game, to maintain that top of the bracket legacy, they had to reverse sweep. They reverse swept a team called Good Comms, which is a fantastic roster, has the likes of Ols and 2M on it, who are usually quite high flyers here in these European matches. They were able to reverse sweep them. We know that this team has the mentality to keep on fighting, and that is going to continue here. On their final life, they say pressure makes diamonds, and Darkrai already getting ourselves off to a good start.
He's got a bright shine to him. Darkrai doing a good job there in order to be there at the right time, and Sicarino deserves much more credit for that goal than he's currently getting with how quality that pass was into the center field. Good bump onto Trebla, opens up a challenge window for Daiki, but couldn't make contact. And now Darkrai loses to HP. Sicarino chasing this one down. Brutalized 50 win over the top there, and maybe Azuris can make something out of it. HP passing out to Trebla. Trebla hoping for help with Matt Spray, who's getting bumped off, but somehow still finds his way back, not past Sicarino. But the Milk Boys have done well to get themselves into this half and get a couple quality looks out of it. There's another one, and just threading the needle time and time again. That pass through 2 defenders, the shot through 2 defenders.
And it is just this amazing just ping pong between each other quite play that Milkadong have been able to do consistently throughout these series. It's just those little tip-off passes which allow themselves to progress the play, keep the man in the most advantageous position on the ball, and just keeps Azuris guessing as well. It's what creates these little gaps. It's what can slightly get us out of that rhythm of rotation and, you know, create those little spaces that we saw HP was able to take full advantage of with that last goal. And it's the type of things that Azuris have to be looking out for, and it's why I think that physical aspect of the game you were talking about before could be so important for this series. Because if they're going to play such a high-risk system like that, where everything really has to fall into place, you want to disrupt it just a little bit, or you have to be faster. It's one of those two choices, which is not very easy to make, but you have to take against such a top side over here in EU. But still, scorelines remaining equal, this is still a very doable game, and dare I say, a very doable series.
Yep, that's gonna have to be the hope, and the speed may not be the correct route to go. I have felt like Azuris has just been a step behind. Unfortunately, time and time again, that's nearly gone in. Just floating down to the other end. Darkrai a little bit north of the bar there, and Azuris somehow finds a little bit of burst of energy here. They've quickly chugged a monster and are seemingly back, leaned forward in their gaming chairs, if you will. Darkrai trying to challenge HP there. Sicarino towards the back wall, and Azuris happy to rotate out, get some more boost in their coffers, and despite all of that, still end up conceding a goal off of Trebla's doing.
And it's another one of these goals where it's just Trebla able to generate so much power off the back of his shot, off the back of his pass. It doesn't matter. It feels like every single touch he puts on that ball is absolute gold for his teammates, and it's why they've been able to take a lead in this series. And it's exactly the type of thing that Azuris have to shut down, and they have to shut down now, otherwise their open 4 opportunities are going to come to an end. This is truly the final life for Azuris. The entire open lies on these final 90 seconds.
Alrighty. What can they do? How can they address the deficit that they're currently in with their open 4 hopes on the line? Sicarino to Darkrai. Darkrai, booming touch, hoping for it all. HP read it, though, was already in the air by the time that shot came out. Demo on the back end means Trebla has to double back and worry about things defensively. HP off into his own corner. Trebla trying to leave that boost for a teammate, but it's collected by Taiki, and the overwhelming pressure enough to create cracks in the defense. And that one slotted in by Darkrai.
Oh my goodness. They were really wobbling there, Quanzek. I mean, in that replay, I was like, okay, that was the mistake that conceded from that goal. And then there was another. And then there was another. All of a sudden, things just started to break down there in the Milka Drinking defense. Now Azuris have to kick a team whilst they're down. Matsgrave looking to try and turn the tides back into the orange-sided favour. HP shot doesn't find the back of the net. Matsgrave claims a life there off Darkrai, who will respawn in quite a nice position to get rid of that culprit away from the play. Nice revenge there, landed by Daiki. And he's just going to play this nice and close. That's a big touch there from Trebla. That's not going to be in their team's favour. Azuris pounced on it immediately, but I feel like for now, it feels like we're just waiting for that inevitable entrance into overtime. I mean, it's been the characteristic nature of this series so far, but you have to earn it. 10 seconds to hold on to this defense. Darkrai with a full tank of boost. The 50-50 doesn't land great. There's a double commit as well, and Trebla laying that one off to Matsgrave could spell trouble, but eventually the ball hits the ground. And any deja vu here in chat? It's another OT, and it's a must score for Azuris.
Deja vu in chat. It's another OT, and it's a Azuris. A third time in a row, we're into overtime here. Can we get one to fall in our favor? Or is it going to be the most brutal way to go out today? With 3 consecutive overtime losses, Sicarino can't get there. Diving for is a member of the Milk Boys, as this one is a team pinch that Matt's Gray is somehow prepared for. Why are you there? Darkrai into the middle of the field. Daiki can't get a piece. HP can. It's north of the barn. Sicarino and Darkrai both combined.
Great
Darkrai
recovery.
luckily got a piece of that to recover the double commit. And they have staved off things defensively now, trying to get something going on the other end, but that infield pass disrupted by the demo.
Ooh, big save there from Trebler yet again. We've seen the pressure applied by both teams now. That solidity continuing, which just has seemed to be the word of the day here for Azuris and any opponents that they have faced. Daiki, blip reset, doesn't want to use it, however, wants that space in front of Trebler, but a 1v1 specialist does manage to land himself a 50. Now this looked like it would be some space for Sicarino, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, the floodgates started to open. 2 players were sent packing, and it's allowed Azuris to hold on to it. That's a double tap, which he would score every single time in free play. But when you're in your final life here in the RLCS, sometimes things work that little bit differently.
Oh my, Trebler showing off the 1 skills right now.
Oh!
Sicarino keeps his team alive on a prayer, but the second opportunity doesn't find the save. Daiki couldn't get there before Matt's Gray swallowed up the angle. And we're going to flip right over to our devastated faces here. That's going to be a brutal end to today for Azuris. And I think during the break, Pig, we were looking at the bracket and we basically said if we get a draw on some other side, it's an auto qual into day 3. But that's not the case. It took multiple 1-goal losses to Vitality, dropping down to the lowers. We win the series we should have, and then we draw another Swiss stage GSL quality team, and we lose that one in 3 consecutive overtimes. I know this team is going to be kicking themselves, but there are a lot of bright spots to grab from today, and hopefully you get a better shake, a fairer shake at it in open number 5, where officially you can come through. Your wave will have turned into a tsunami by then.
Absolutely, and this is a team that came into it as the 63rd seed. I'm hoping that we've earned something a little bit higher after that performance. We faced so many tough teams on the way that I feel like you typically wouldn't expect to be facing at certain stages, and that even started at the end of day 1, having to face Olz's team, which I feel like was quite a rough matchup, having to reverse sweep that one versus Good Comms. And then, of course, having this team to play next and potentially NXT afterwards. I must say, I'm seeing some much more favourable brackets elsewhere in our very own pool individually as well. And sometimes I think you've just got to take away all the positives that came out of this one and let's just say not cry over spilt milk. I mean, we put up a great performance against Vitality. We were able to grab that series win as well. And this one, it's going to feel like that one that got away, realistically. It felt like that could have been a match. Frankly, in the Swiss stage, I'm sure our opponents would give us that respect to agree as well, having to go to 3 overtimes against us as such established talents themselves. So this is only just the start of Azuris. This is only open for the first of 3 here for the Raleigh split. So I hope that expectations continue to be highest at home, because not only do we have 3 really committed, really special players here on this roster, we've also got the legendary Nordic Verdane as a coach as well, who I'm sure will have some things to say about this first open, this split, and that's only going to lead to a stronger roster in the following opens, where we shouldn't face Vitality until top 32.
Yeah. Yep. That should be the case. That should be the hope. There are a lot of like what ifs you can draw today of, oh, if we don't pull Vitality first, if we aren't playing the Milk Boys down here in what should be a Swiss stage game. Just unfortunate with how things shook out, but lots of positive to be gleamed. Nordic will get the boys shaped up before the next Open, and I know they'll be grinding and hustling more than ever because this one should not have ended today. We should have been in the Swiss stage tomorrow. With that being said, that's not the case. We have to deal with the reality that's in front of us, and that is that Azuris' run is officially over. And so, on behalf of my wonderful casting crew here, that's really it. I've been Quanzek.
Yeah.
You can find me everywhere at Quanzek. It's such a unique 7-string of letters that if you just do a Google search, you'll find my Twitch and my Twitter. And before I throw it to you, Pig, I'll give a shout out to somebody who very much deserves it in the background of Kendo. It's Kendo _, I believe, on Twitter. You can double check that for me. Or
Exclamation mark
correct me if you
producer,
would like.
ladies and gentlemen.
There you go.
Is well
Exclamation
to
mark
cheat.
producer. In the chat is a command to find him. He's done a great job, graphic, self-made, and has made us sound and look pretty all day today, Pigasus. And I'll hand it over to you to close things out for us today.
Ladies and gentlemen, it was an absolute pleasure to be on this broadcast. It's SirPigasus on all socials. You can follow myself and Quan if you use exclamation mark casters, I believe is the command. And as my extra shout out, of course, is going to be to the wonderful crew on the back end of Azuris, the players, the coach, and of course, you wonderful people at home, especially Dark Rise Fab. I know you have been watching as well. So thank you very much for your support. This was the end of Azuris' run in Open 4, but certainly not the end of Azuris. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you back with a vengeance in Open 5.